Hello, this is Dave, and welcome to Equities Story. And we're nearly at Christmas time, and also exciting. And Wolf's about to, got Father Christmas coming, and he loves Father Christmas.
I haven't even put up the Christmas tree yet.
Oh my God!
I know.
Well, that's
I'm doing it today.
That's unlike a little elf like you, Wolf.
I know. But the thing is, I was so busy on the weekend, and the thing is, I should probably done it 2 weeks ago, but I'm just been lazy.
All right. Anyway, it's general share advice and not personal advice, and let's get going. Wolfie, let's start with a massive winner, MRM, which we've liked really since it broke trend at the beginning of the year. Hasn't broke trend the whole way through this run, and again, it's been on Einstein's last few weeks. And why wouldn't it be? I mean, the price actually looks superb. Again, that final breakout over the black trend line, and what a strong announcement today.
Very good, very good. It just shows that obviously turned the corner early Jan, right? And since then, they've had a really good run of it with good announcements and conditions to suit. This is why when you're on a good trade, you keep to it. Because generally speaking, Dave, a lot of the time, there is like a cycle for these sort of companies where they will come up with this good announcement and the share price will follow. There you go. This is an example of that. So look, I just, if you're a trader in this, I'd probably leave it to you what I say, but I'm just thinking that they're talking still, the conditions are pretty good. They just left a little bit of possibly a question mark at the end of that announcement today, saying that the big ships are still uncontracted for the second half, which is the traditionally monsoon quieter period. So maybe that's the risk there. However, the first half was spectacular.
But it's had a little bit of resistance at that $1, which is pretty normal, Wolf. We know that's a resistance area. And I think those short-term traders should all be taking a profit up here around that dollar. So don't be greedy, everybody.
Yep. And well done to you, Dave. Another great hot stock winner. Chicken dinner.
All right. SDR.
Yep.
So let's have a look at SiteMinder, because I know this is a superb piece of software. Got sold down. Really, there seems to be a little bit of support around that $3 level, Wolf. Announcement today. It's lightly traded, so it's not an easy one. This one, it's down. What did you take? What's your outtake from the announcement?
Yeah, look, the announcement was good because first of all, they had a couple of changes in the management. So they've announced that. One of them was promoted from within. Brilliant. Another one was come out from the outside, which is still okay. But generally speaking, I mean, obviously the story is down because of tech space being hit. It's unprofitable, won't be profitable till 2024. So it's just under the radar, just no interest at all at the moment. But at $3 looks pretty attractive to me. It's one of the better tech stocks we've got here in Australia. And it is arguably, Dave, a quality story with really strong growth, still 30% year-on-year growth. And eventually, I think over time, will probably come out as a winner for the investors like myself, hopefully. Long-term investors.
And you know what, Wolf? It's the trend line's coming down. There'll be a time, I think, sometime, hopefully beginning of next year, where that revenue starts clicking over, it starts bouncing over trend, and then that'll be our time to get in it.
Yeah, look, I think it's probably another 6 months like this, I'd say.
Yeah, I think you're right. Wolfie, PRN, but an upgrade to earnings up around 20 million, I think.
Yeah, it's actually very, very good, Dave. Look, again, a company that you can see turns the corner, conditions are rife for them, and they just keep delivering, right? This is why when you're trending, you got to have a look at the bigger picture. Why is it trending? Conditions are good. They're coming up with good announcements. Can they keep going with this? Yes, conditions are good. And you can keep going on this trend for some time, right? This is another example of that. So, possibly, maybe you want to hold on for a little bit longer and put a stop loss, unless you think that, there's a profit here at around that 120, you take the profit and start again maybe next week or in the new year.
Well, I see the more serious noise around 140, Wolf. So I mean,
okay, so maybe you go.
But equally, I understand don't be greedy. But I'd be, if you feel comfortable with the story and you feel comfortable with the growth, I'd be sort of trying to get at least maybe 135 out of it, to be honest.
Yep. Yep.
But again, excellent. Wolfie, Newcrest.
Mhm.
So it's up today and a little bit surprising for us. New CEO.
Yes.
Um,
Mm.
it
I have
could
to
be.
say, Dave, I just don't like when companies come out with unexpected CEO changes. I don't think that was expected because the company themselves weren't obviously prepared for it, because the CEO has quit, going into a advisory role, and they're coming with an interim CEO, which just tells you, for me anyway, that there was no transitionary period where they actually talked to the CEO previously, just getting his thoughts, that he may be thinking about retirement, where they would have already started looking for someone and then maybe come up with a better transition, right? So there is none of that. So we just don't know who they're going to come with. The interim CEO is an internal person, of course. What happens, we'll see in the next few weeks, months, maybe.
Yeah, I suppose they just got to wait to find the right person. Hopefully they'll find that person within the company.
Yeah, exactly. Well, this is the thing,
yeah.
but it's just this, something just not quite right again there. But look, doesn't matter. At least the reaction wasn't bad. So
Yeah.
that's a win. That's a win for that. The good news is, I suppose, the gold is still okayish, close to that $1,800.
Yeah, well, maybe he wasn't that like that CEO. That's all I can think.
Maybe that why the reason is the price is going up, because maybe people think that he's going to step down.
SES, Wolfie, a little sort of throwaway plastic bags or renewable bags, and what did you make of the announcement today?
Yeah, look, the little compostable bag.
Wolf, your phone went. You've got a friend, have you? I didn't know you had a friend.
Well, it could be my best friend. Don't even say the name. However, saying that, look, a little compostable bag company has had a bit of a transitionary period, right? So they've been doing quite well, but growth has slowed down. The costs went up. They sort of became unprofitable again for a year, which has brought them down from 30 cents back to 11 cents, which is a pretty brutal smash down, right? Today's announcement was pretty good. However, again, they are in transitionary period. They are getting rid of some of these old legacy plastic products and moving into these compostable bags, which, when you look through the announcement, look pretty good, because they are taking great market share in Coles and Woolies with the compostable bags and making inroads in the US. But it's a cost at a cost of the other business that they've got, which means that short-term pain on the revenue front, Dave.
All right, not too good. Well, just wait. It'll have its day.
Yeah, it'll probably go just sideways for maybe another 6 months or so.
Now, MQG, you see this you're starting to see it in a different light, Wolf. Explain.
Yeah, Dave, look, I've always seen it a little bit different light than everyone else, I suppose. That's why I love the story. And I know people are going, it's not that exciting. I've always talked about it, that it's a business that always delivers more than people expect. It's always dynamic. It moves ahead of everyone else. It's definitely one of the better run companies globally. And they had a division that was looking at renewables and moving into hydrogen and other things that no one's ever, they were just sort of one step ahead of everyone else. There was an article today in AFR just pretty much blatantly talking about that. This is a renewable company. They are moving into this space and they are looking at this division, wind and everything else, as not just I suppose, an investor, but also builder and investor, and they're creating new divisions. So for Macquarie will be funding these things, then they're going to be looking and keeping these things, not just selling them off. So it's very interesting. I posted it on our website. So it just gives it that now, maybe, because it's now in the open, more of a moniker as I look at us, guys. We are much, much more than you think we are. And a green possibly company that, right in front of your eyes here in Australia. I'm liking it this day. And, it just gives me more incentive to hold on to this for much longer.
ALC bouncing back again with a good announcement. So
Mhm.
it's funny actually. Claude was saying if it went down to 14, he was going to be buying. So
Let's hope he did.
hopefully he did. But in a way, it's surprising, isn't it? Even it starts getting sold. Investors are so fickle, aren't they?
Oh, investors are just so impatient, isn't it? It's a nervous, impatient, short-term vision. It's just strange, but this company just keeps delivering with nice little announcements. It's building its revenues nicely. I suppose the question is, in this sort of market, I can understand the nervousness, but surely you've got to have some long-term vision and say this company is actually quite good if you do your research right. They're pretty much ticking a lot of boxes for me. So I expected, again, maybe with still the shenanigans going on right now, maybe another 6 months, it's probably going to maybe just struggle. Once we get over this recession, those interest rate rises, maybe that's when it starts going up again, Dave. But
well, you know what,
I'm really liking it.
If you look how it's trending under the trend line, one day we're going to get this.
Yeah, exactly.
Right?
That's exactly right.
So for those impatient people, wait till we get that, and then hopefully we're going to get a move, right?
That's this is so similar, isn't it? I mean, that's exactly right. You just got to be patient. In fact, those patient probably people like, hopefully Claude just picks some up at 14 with a long-term vision. And it's not probably the right way to do things. We maybe wait for the green candle like you said before, but for the long investors out there, I don't mind a bit of a nibble here or there.
Yeah, or if you're going for the Amazon for a year and you're not going to be in contatic with someone and you need to get
exactly,
right.
And the thing is, you're trying to spread your risk. So you want to buy, you don't want to buy everything right away. Maybe pay 14 cents one time, pay 15 cents for another time. Maybe you get lucky and get 13 cents another time. You sort of average off, over time, over whatever it might be. That's how you sort of build your position in a stock that you really like over a long term.
Thanks, Wolfie. Now I've got two little ones that getting sold off. Really, AMI, it's ugly as anyway, and HLX.
Yeah, I just want to quickly just talk about that announcement because it's just hilarious, Dave. I just love a bit of humor at the start of the day. So can you please put in
yeah, sure.
The announcement?
I'll bring it across. I've got it here, all prepared. Yeah, here we go.
All right. Okay, just listen to this. Second line, drill hole appears to have just missed the target conductor. I love it. You just know there's nothing there. Just missed the conductor. Oh, poor things.
What?
They can't drill properly, or what's actually happened there, Dave?
So where did it just? Oh, so here it just missed.
Yes. Oh. Yeah. So either their interpretation was wrong. There's actually nothing there. Yeah, but I just love they're trying to let it down gently. We've just missed it, guys.
Well, they've got the plate here, right, and the plate there.
Oh, hilarious! And I love that they put it in inverted brackets. We just missed it. Oh, we've just wasted, guys, your $5 million of dollars that we've just raised from you, and you just missed a conductor. How unfortunate.
All right. Well, anyway, the share price says it all, doesn't it? I think they've been just
exactly.
They've been just
Keystone Cops.
Yeah, they've been just missing since July last year. So
that's exactly right.
We're not going to even talk about AMI. It looks ugly as. So
no, exactly. But anyway, I just like a bit of humor at the start of the day. Poor HLX.
Just go for Einstein's coal. Looking up, I had a buy signal on WHC. Some ASG, which is a stock you like. Not a strong buy signal, but again, good price action. KSC as well, looking very, very good. Good price action. Actually, quite a nice little buy signal, actually. And CK, again, you can see coal looking very, very strong at the moment. And LYL, again, a stock that's actually held a beautiful trend in a really difficult climate all this year. And I think one of my more favorite buy signals with WHC. It looks superb. So there's quite a few stocks there. Could you give me one? Do you have a pick out buy signal out of those, Wolf? One you like more and more?
Look, I had looked through them, of course, myself, and nothing really just went, I want to get this one. But if I'm looking at maybe what's happening, which theme am I going to go for? Obviously, ASG probably not the right one because it's the other things is not going that well. So maybe I'll leave that one. But there's three themes actually going quite well at the moment. KSC, which has got the transportation, right? That's been going well. So you've got, I think you put in a CLX in your bullish. So that's all part of that. And Lindsay, is, of course, as well, is going quite well. That's also been bullish. So that's definitely KSC would be one I'd be looking at. Coal, of course, again, had a bit of a bounce, right? So that's been going well.
Oh, and if you look at CK, it's not far from trend, which is quite appealing, isn't it?
Exactly. And the last one, of course, is engineers going quite well, LYL. So you've got those three themes that are going quite well. So I'd be, you know, if I'm going to be buying anything, there'll be those three. It becomes, you know, maybe the WHC would be the strongest one.
And with bullish, QBE, again, tends to do quite well with interest rates going up in America.
And you know, if the markets are saying that the interest are going to go higher, you're going to go, well, I'm buying QBE then. It actually helps them.
And maybe you will get that $14. But
exactly.
You've got BXB, which again I've had on 2 or 3 weeks ago. It just keeps on going, and I know you particularly don't like the stock. AZJ, which we went for the hot stock, and a little bit we are. It's pretty obvious there's no, or doesn't seem to be any Christmas rally. We just want to go something a little bit more conservative, a good little dividend stock. It's bouncing off trend. It had a good announcement last week. So
Dave, instead of giving you a brand new bike under the Christmas tree, we're just giving you chocolates.
Yeah, I know.
Nothing exciting, unfortunately, for the Christmas tree.
CGF, which nice little price action on the chart last week, and talk of maybe stuff going on there. SFR again held up, so I'm still, if you're in that, still hold it. CLW, funny enough, a little bit surprised. One of the few sort of property plays that sort of starting to break up.
And our dividend story.
And a dividend story. So very happy to see that. AGI is still looking good. I thought Rick, again, a very consistent pattern, bouncing off trend, good price action last week. One would expect it to go on with it. Naturally, New Hope. Zimplat's going for another run. Do you remember earlier this year we had a fantastic run?
Yes, we do. It's just strange though, because absolutely the platinum group metals got absolutely hammered late last week.
So something happening there, maybe. But CUV again had some good news. We've got a few good announcements recently, breaking above trend. IGL dividend stock with a good trend.
Yeah, I really like that one.
YAL, RCT. Now this was quite interesting because I had this one on as a buy signal about 3 or 4 weeks ago, and I know it's not the sort of story, but then suddenly, Wolf, the end of the pandemic, I think their profits, they put an announcement out last week, their profits were up considerably. They pay a dividend. Things are starting to look very good for Little Reef Casino. So
is that the one up in Cairns, I think, isn't it, or Townsville or something?
Yeah. So they're starting to not do too badly. Maybe now all the they've got issues. Everyone in where do you go now to get rid of your black money? Maybe it's I'm joking. But anyway, just a joke. But they're doing quite well. SMR, another little whole play. I thought ARU, I know we're not crazy about the story, but the price action was good. ATA, more risky ones. CLX, been on for a while, we're trending it. I think the price action the last 3 weeks has been excellent. GTK, I like it. Okay, you know why? It actually broke up. It hit the support. I think this could go higher. Maybe it's got $3 on it.
Okay.
I know it's supported by a few funds as well, which always helps, right? JYC, another dividend play that's holding up very, very nicely. COV, again, another dividend play that's been held a very, very good trend, really, Wolf. LAU, again, looking good. MES, a little break up there. We don't know much about it. MRM, of course, had the big move up.
You couldn't even get in this morning, unfortunately. So sorry, guys.
SLX looking good. SOP. So there's a good little SM1. Again, you can see this sort of milk, these little milk stocks doing a little bit better. TER, which is another coal play, work out. XRF, maybe looking ready.
That's a really good looking chart.
Yeah, it looks ready for another leg up, doesn't it? At least to 90. APZ, nice little chart, good little chart last week. Yeah, and a little BMT, Wolf. So I thought the break up there was quite good and maybe could go on a bit. So there was actually
Some nice
better.
stories there.
There's some nice stories there, right? So for everyone to have a look at. So thank you for that, Wolf, and thanks for your opinion of that, and plenty for people to trade as well.
Yep.
On that note, Wolfie, thank you very, very much, and I'll see you tomorrow.
Thank you.
See
Cheers,
you,
guys.
Wolfie. Take care.
Bye.
Bye-bye.